Elections are often full of statistics, but today's are the worst since records began. And any sign that the NHS is heading for a winter crisis means this quickly becomes a political one. Emma Driver only has one vote, but stories like hers may influence others. Her 84-year-old father died after waiting for 6 hours on a hospital trolley.
Come 12:30 a.m. when my dad vomited in the corridor, and I shouted for help and not one person came. I sat him up, he slid off the trolley and onto the floor with members of the public looking. And when I was shouting then, it was only then that two nurses very reluctantly wanted to help me.
In England, 95% of A&E patients are supposed to be dealt with within 4 hours, but last month less than 84% were, a record low. For cancer patients, the aim is to see 85% within 62 days. Only 77% were seen that quickly, with targets for routine treatment missed too.
This is your steering wheel.
So yet again, the Prime Minister is struggling to set the course for this election. On his trip to Bristol Port, he accepted his part in steering the NHS towards its worst performance. Do you take responsibility for that?
Of course, but you've got to recognise, Paul, that what we're facing is huge demand now in the NHS, and that is why we're now responding with since this government's been in, we've got the biggest investment in the NHS in modern times.
Never mind your future promises, voters will also judge you on your past record. Do you think this is a record to be proud of?
Well, I think that if I look at what the NHS is achieving, then yes, I am immensely proud of the NHS and its achievements.
You're proud of these waiting times?
Over the lifetime of the government, and yes, but if you say, can we do better, must we do better, should we be investing more? Yes, of course.
At the closest A&E to his visit, today we found waits of up to 6.5 hours, with voters divided over who'd improve things. Who do you trust to look after the NHS?
Conservatives.
Do you? Why is that?
I think they'll make the better job of it overall.
Do you think the NHS will help determine who you vote for in this election?
I think it will for a lot of people, yeah, definitely. Because if people want to save the NHS, they're going to go for the other parties that want to save it. But I don't think the Tories do, to be fair. I think they'd rather sell it off, to be honest.
And in the battle for voters, bad figures are proving good politics.
It is disgraceful, and it is a problem of the lack of staff and the lack of funding for it. So a Labour government will increase NHS funding.
People will be rightly concerned as we approach winter. It's clear that the NHS is not safe in the Conservative Party's hands.
So again in this election, the Prime Minister's path is proving precarious. Paul Brand, News at 10, Bristol.